Jamie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be looking at the characters of Community and ranking them in how I think they will do in the show Taskmaster. If you haven't seen my video where I did this with the BBC Ghosts, the idea of this is that I'll take characters from a certain show and rank them in how I think Greg would score them if they were to compete on the show Taskmaster. I have set some rules for this. The first one being that I will rank it on how I think Greg will score it, not necessarily how I think I will score it. The other rule I've done is if there are 5 main characters, then I will just rank those 5 main characters. However, if there are more than 5, I will get 10 or 15 or however many characters I need to get and put them together and then spin a wheel and pick 5 random characters by chance, and then I will do the next 5 in a different video. So obviously with this one we had Jeff, Annie, Abed, Troy, Britta and Shirley. So there were 6 characters, oh and Pierce. So there were 7 characters that I would consider the main characters of Community. So because of that I added the Dean and Chang, and then because we had kind of one left, there was lots that I could kind of do with this. There are lots of recurring characters like Starburns and characters that make like a full series appearance as like a main character like Buzz Hickey. But I did decide to go with Frankie as the final contestant in this. I don't know why, I always really like Frankie as a character, so yeah, that's why I've chosen her. But yeah, I could have done with Buzz Hickey, I could have done it with loads of like the recurring students in the show. I put all those names into a random name generator, and the characters that I got for the first set of contestants were Chang, Troy, Annie, Pierce and Shirley. So those are the 5 characters that I will be ranking today. I will do the next 5 in my next video. So yeah, let's get straight into the rankings, and we're going to start off with 5th place. In 5th place, I have put Pierce. I think this is a bit of a no-brainer. I think he would be kind of useless at this sort of thing. A lot of the time, I feel like he definitely misunderstands the situations, and I think if we put that in a Taskmaster environment, he will misunderstand the tasks. Like he might get confused and just do something completely different. He'll read it a slightly wrong way and just go off doing something that's completely unrelated to the task. So yeah, I feel like he would do that a lot. He also does seem to kind of like get off track a bit, so he'll get caught up in one small idea and go off of that rather than looking at the whole picture. And yeah, I just think that wouldn't relate very well to Taskmaster at all. I feel like as well he would get very irritated and angry when both at like doing the tasks and when he's like critiqued on like why he did certain things in a task. And because of this, I think he will lash out a little bit on the other contestants and Alex, and most detrimentally Greg. And yeah, I feel like that wouldn't go down very well and that he would lose points for that. However, he would gain points from berating Alex, so I guess it can kind of be a plus in some sort of ways. But overall, I feel it will be a disadvantage to him. One way I think he would gain some points would be that he would like demand Alex to do a lot of things for him. Like he would use Alex in that way. He would put him in a lot of situations that he himself wouldn't want to be in, make him do some of the more horrible things. And so in that sense, I think he will gain a lot of points as he'll just make Alex do it instead of himself. But overall, I don't think it's enough to really go up higher in the rankings. Pierce is weird in the fact that he's a mix of embarrassing himself a lot, but then also refusing to do certain things. So yeah, it's a hard one to look at as whether he would embrace the silliness, embrace the like idea of embarrassing yourself, or whether he would just outright refuse because he thinks he's better than that. So I think it is more of the case that he thinks he'd be better than it. But then when he sees the other contestants all having fun with it, he'd feel left out and then want to be involved and will do anything to kind of get the attention back onto him. And that is something else as well. I feel like he would want the attention to always be on him, and he wouldn't really want to share it, which I think would be quite detrimental to him. One thing that I think he would do a lot, I think he definitely would try to bribe Greg and Alex a lot throughout the series. He's somebody with a lot of money, a lot more money than he knows what to do with, so he definitely will bribe them a lot. I think he will. However, on a good point, Pierce, he is quite musical. He has some musical talent, so that would play in well if there is a musical challenge. One thing that I think he might do quite well on is the prize task, just because he does have a lot of money, so he could just throw it at certain prizes that fit the category and do quite well. So yeah, in that case he might gain a lot of points, but overall I just feel like he doesn't have like the Taskmaster energy. He doesn't really fit what I like vision as a Taskmaster contestant. So yeah, I just don't think he would do very well overall. I did struggle to distinguish between 3rd and 4th place. However, ultimately I've gone with Troy as in 4th place. I'm still like 50-50 on this one. The main reason why I put Troy in 4th place is because he isn't really the brightest. I think he would struggle with some of the more complex tasks. Like sometimes I just get the idea that he doesn't really know what's going on. He's just going along with it, which is very entertaining to watch. But I just feel like some tasks he might get a bit confused, especially like some more of the complex ones. I feel like he would just get a bit confused and not really know what to do. He also gets quite easily frustrated in a different way to Pierce, but he does get easily frustrated, sometimes like overwhelmed. So I feel like that would lose him some points. He does have lots of strong like characteristics, which is why I feel bad putting him in 4th place. Like he is athletic, so on those tasks he would do really well. And yeah, I think in terms of anything to do with like speed, he might do quite well. Like the challenge where they had to get and put the stuff in the microwave in series 3, like on the racetrack. I feel like on that task he'd do really well. There are certain things that would really play to his strengths. Things like the escape room task, anything that kind of revolves around using a lot of logic and problem solving, I think he would really struggle with. However, on that case, he is really like good at plumbing, so he might be able to build things and stuff like that. He might do really well on, because there are a lot of tasks where they'll use things to like construct like a pipe, or you know they have to build something, and in that case those skills might apply, and he might be able to carry them over onto this. And also he might have learned a lot of things while he was sailing, because he did go on like a world trip, so he might have learned a lot of things from there, which would play quite well on the show. But as I said, he does just go along with things, so I feel like he would gain points just by having fun with it, and just kind of like doing what it says. But yeah, I just don't feel like he would be like a very high point scorer. I think he'd be like the audience favourite, but I just don't think he would gain loads of points. It is a very difficult one. I felt really bad putting Troy in 4th place. I really love him as a character, but yeah, I just feel like I don't know, he relies a lot on other characters like telling him what to do and explaining things for him. So yeah, that's why he's in 4th place. The character I was like changing around with was Chang. When I first like had these contestants down, I thought he would definitely be the 4th place person, because he's just insane. Like I feel like he's such a bizarre character. He's so unstable that I just thought, no, he's just not going to gain any points. But then I remembered that like he became like, I don't know, his journey, he's managed to deceive all of the characters into thinking he had Changnesia. He managed to become like a dictator of the college. So like he does things well. He seems to be able to plan things out, and you know, is very good at doing that sort of thing. So I think he would do quite well at the tasks. I think there are some things that he'd completely go like off track with. He would, you know, get sucked into a weird idea of wanting to like take over Greg's throne or something. Like I don't know what skills he actually has, but he seems to be able to achieve kind of like what he wants to a lot of the time. He's also, just because of how insane he is, he would fully be okay with doing anything on the show. So like any tasks that other contestants might like hesitate at and be like, oh no, I don't really want to do that, I'm not going to do it, I'll find a different way to do it, he'll just go and do it. So yeah, in that case I just think he'll gain loads of points that way. I genuinely did not think he'd be in 3rd place, but yeah, he is. And I think as well, as I said, with like him being able to like, you know, convince people who had like Changnesia and stuff, I feel like he is quite resilient in kind of a good, kind of bad way. That yeah, he does go through a lot throughout the show, and he comes out of it somewhat still-ish normal to his standards. So yeah, I just think his ability to kind of not have any shame and to like just go along with it, and yeah, his dedication to wanting to be like in power, I think would serve him quite well on the show. But I also think he would be a danger to Greg because he'd want to take over the throne. So in that, yeah, I'm just going to put him in 3rd place. Again, it was between him and Troy over these two, because I think they could They both have good qualities and they both have bad qualities. It's quite hard to like distinguish which one would be better. I also had a very similar issue with first and second place. I feel like both of these characters are very similar in a lot of ways. So it was really hard to kind of like pick out which qualities of their characters would serve them very well on the show. In second place, I have put Shirley. Now, Shirley is such an amazing character. She's so dedicated, she's ruthless at times. Like, if she wants to do something, she will do it, and I think that's amazing. And I love like her whole energy. I think she'd be amazing on the show. I think she'd do really well at the prize tasks, like coming up with very thoughtful things. So I think in that aspect she'll do really, really well. You know, she beat Annie, or was drawing with Annie to be like the best, like the highest scorer in the college, or like highest GPA. I don't really know American colleges, but like, yeah, no, they were neck and neck. So I definitely feel like it will be that in like Taskmaster as well. I feel like they will be the two strongest throughout the whole show. I feel like she would be absolutely hilarious on the show. She's come up with really good ideas. She won't be afraid to boss Alex around, get him to do what she needs him to do. And yeah, she has really good like singing abilities. I'm not sure about like musical, like being able to play instruments or anything like that, but she seems to be a very creative person, and I feel like in all those aspects she'll gain loads and loads of points. One thing that I think would be a disadvantage to her, and what I think makes Annie slightly higher up in this for me, would be that because she still is like quite Christian, she likes to remain quite dignified. I don't think she would do many things that she would deem to be unchristian and that would perhaps show her in a bad light. And I don't think this would be the case all of the time, because I said she is very dedicated. She likes to, like, she's very dedicated, and I feel like, you know, she'd be quite determined to win. However, I think there are certain things she just wouldn't do despite her competitiveness. I just feel like some things where she's like, no, I'm not doing that. But again, I guess you could just get Alex to do it. I don't know, it's difficult. It's really difficult. I think loads of the characters in the show are just so strong and so just would be amazing on Taskmaster. It's really hard to work out who'd be better. But yeah, I've put Annie in first place. And the main reason I've done this is because she just seems to be good at everything. Like, she is smart, she is organised, she's determined, she's very competitive, she loves to win. She'd kind of be like an Ed Gamble kind of character, I think, kind of contestant, in fact. She'd just be really, really strong. That she would really want to win and do everything she can to win. She is a natural leader. Like, we're thinking back to like series 6 where she was leading like the Save Greendale committee, or whatever it's called, like Improve Greendale, whatever. She was the one setting the task. She was also the one making sure all the tasks were completed. I just feel like she would do things in a really great way. She's also very logical, so I feel like in some of the more problem-solving tasks she would do really well. She's also quite creative. She's a good performer, dancer, like singer. She does a lot of really good things in the show, and in many ways she is like the craziest character on the show. So I just feel like in every aspect she fits what Taskmaster's about. Like, she is silly, she is smart, I also think she would do amazing at the prize tasks. Like, she would just fit the categories perfect. And yeah, I just think in every way that I can think of, she would be a perfect Taskmaster contestant. And yeah, that's what kind of like edges her from Shirley, is I think Annie would kind of do some of the more horrible things, like yucky, disgusting-y things. I feel like she would do, just because she's got that drive and she really likes to win and doesn't like to, like, she's got such a fear of failure that I think that would kind of push her to do a lot of the things. I can imagine her getting really, really frustrated in the studio though. But yeah, that would just be hilarious to watch. And yeah, she'd just be a fantastic contestant. All of them would be, maybe except Chang. But yeah, overall, I'm quite happy with my rankings. It was really difficult to work out, but yeah, I think this is the best I can do. Let me know in the comments how you would rank them. If you think I've got something completely wrong, let me know. And let me know what you think of the other contestants I'll be doing in the next episode. And any other shows that you want me to do this for. As I said, I really enjoy doing these videos, so yeah, I'd love to do more. If you liked it, then please give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more of these type of videos. I'll have some more out for you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye!